So today I'm finishing up the installation of a Ridetech Delrin control arm bushing kit. This kit actually fits the 06 through 13 C5 and C6 Corvettes. Now this kit is marketed as a DIY type project. I would say unless you have a very well equipped shop, you probably don't want to do this in your garage. I ended up using a variety of tools and presses to remove the old bushings and reinstall the bushings. I actually use a full 20-ton shop press. It's what I found easiest to remove and reinstall bushings and trunnions. The front upper control arms go together pretty easily. They all have the same bushings, and then the trunnions go in specifically. Put on your washers, put on your retaining clips, reinstall your upper control arms. So the lower control arms, you install your new Delrin bushings. The inside ones are thinner than the outside ones. There's a very specific one that goes in each spot. And then your inner sleeves press in inside of those. When you go to put your bolts back in on the front lowers on our vehicle today, we had these aluminum sleeves that we had to remove from the front, all four of the front lower control arm bolts.
The stuff they don't tell you about in the directions.
Once those are removed, they'll go through the new lower control arm sleeves without any issue. The rear upper control arms, again, very easy install. The trunnions have a different offset, so it'll actually change your camber on the rear, so you want to make sure you install them all the same. The rear lower control arms were pretty straightforward. I'm finishing up my last one right now. The rear lower control arms, once you get them out of the car, you just press out your forward and rear bushing, and then you have two narrow and two wide bushings that go in the rear. The wide bushings go up front where your eccentric is. The narrower bushings go in the rear. And then you have an inner sleeve that the large bolt, the sleeve with the large bore goes in the front position. The sleeve with the rear, the sleeve in the rear of the rear lower control arm has the smaller bolt hole, and they actually provide larger bolts to go into the hole because the factory bolt actually has a little wobble to it. The new bolt provided in the kit takes up that additional slab. Altogether, a pretty straightforward kit. We had the better part of a whole day installing these. Really looking forward to seeing what the customer thinks about the vehicle on the track. This vehicle is actually leaving today after I align it to go to the track. He's going to spend 6 hours on the track with this car today. He should have a really fun day. So I'm going to finish putting this control arm together, get it put back in the car, and then we're going to do an alignment on this vehicle, get it set up for the track. So the rear bushings are out. These rear lower bushings are actually the easiest bushings to get out of all of them. The forward bushings, the forward upper bushings have these trunnions, and I grabbed them with a bearing splitter, and then I used the press to pull these out with the bushing intact. They pop right out once you get a jig set up correctly to hold everything the way they need to be held. So now we'll get our Delrin inserts, put them back together. Those are my large bushings. Large ones go in the front. I'm just going to use a vise to push these together. Got my rear small bushings. They go in the rear, lower rear position. They have a thinner shoulder. Again, slide these into place. They'll go about 50-60% of the way in. And then I will press them the rest of the way in with the vise. So now my bushings are installed. We'll install our inner shafts, which I need to go get. Stay. So the inner sleeves are different sizes. They're different lengths, and the center holes are also different sizes. The large hole, long position, goes forward where the eccentric cam is. The short, small hole goes in the rear position with just the bolt. These start in pretty easy. Chuck them up in the press. You could probably hammer these in with a hammer. Voila! Time to reinstall control arm in the car. Put it all back together, put it on the alignment rack. Time to put our wheels back on, drop it down, put it on the alignment rack, set it up in the track, be good to go. So I got the alignment done on this 2009 Z06 505 horsepower pocket rocket. The Delrin Bushings and all the control arms are installed, the alignment's set up correctly. We were able to obtain all the alignment specs we were looking for. We have actually removed all of the camber alignment shims in the front and rear. There's no shims in this car at all. We have an aggressive 3 degrees negative camber, over 8 degrees caster, negative 1.7 camber in the rear, set up the toe where we wanted to see it. This alignment was actually done with the owner's body weight in the driver's seat to help make sure that alignment is just right when he's hopping in there and going around the track. So this thing's off to Mid Ohio today, I believe, and he's going to have his race slicks slapped on at the track. And he's going to go wear out a couple sets of tires. Thanks for joining us. Remember to hit like, comment below, subscribe to our channel. This is the cool stuff we do, and we're just sharing a little bit more of it. So you guys have a great day. God bless. See you on the next one.